That music's gonna play for a second because I started a little late. Howdy, howdy, everyone. Hope you all doing all right. Today, let me finish that first. Today we're going to be drawing some new enemies. So we need a few. Yeah. So we need some more enemies. Oh, not that way. Oh, come on now. And so yeah, that's what we're doing today. How are y'all doing? I seen somebody asked earlier if I made the music for the game. For the demo, yes, I've made everything, all the music in the demo. Now, the title one is the most recent one that I made. And then I was getting really crunched for time, so I was like, you know what? For the past couple months, I've been making short little pieces, so I threw them together. So those other pieces are going to change, but yeah. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Do you have a tiny dragon? I do not have a tiny dragon. You talking about in the game, or are we talking about, I mean, either way, the answer's no. But I have considered adding a tiny dragon. We've talked a bit about my pets and stuff, and like maybe we could have a tiny dragon pet. That'd be cool, I think. A small guy with a really big sword sounds like a good enemy. We could do that. For the player, I know I'm wanting to give like a big broadsword for the player. Love to know, or curious to see where the story goes. Yeah, yes. I'm excited for this story. This is one that I've been working on for quite a while now. I enjoyed the story. I think y'all will too. Make bosses next time. Bosses we'll get to eventually. I'm not concerned too big about bosses. The game's not, it's not a, like, bosses is not core to the gameplay. While it will have some bosses, it's not going to be core to the gameplay. I'd rather focus on more important things, like the more slice of life meets RPG style of game that I'm going for. So today we're going to be working on enemies. I want to sort of touch on this brute a bit. Maybe get his attack, what he does, going. We did hit him on a stream some months ago, and we designed a few things. One of the things we had was that he had this giant club, like a ham hock, that was called the Hammer. Now, I got to thinking about that off stream, and the trouble with that is that he only has side-facing sprites, so it means he can only attack in the sides until unless I give him a front-facing sprite. Attacking might be a little tricky unless I do a big broad strike that is equally sufficient that way. Deriku with the $20 already. Thank you. So glad to see us stream again. So glad to be streaming again, bud. Thank you very much for the $20. So yes, there's that guy. And I also want to touch on the spirit because I really want to get this spirit in the demo. Kickstarter be popping. Yeah. I really want to get started on the Skelly. And so we might start off with him. We'll see. So these are the two we're going to be focused on. And we have another enemy in the design. I haven't made really anything for him. Haven't designed it. We might do that thing. Let's do that. Let's do the spirit first. So I have another enemy that's probably going to be in the caves. And we've talked about it before. It's sort of like a hacky sack enemy. Like you'll have a couple of them scattered about, and they have this magical ball that they toss around to each other. And it's sort of like a hot potato thing, to where they toss it around to each other, and you've got to dodge that, but they'll also toss it at you, including you into the game or whatever. Mimic sounds cool. Mimic we might do, like we've talked before about having a mimic pet that would act as portable storage, so you can put stuff inside of it. Did you make the art for the guy in the cave who throws the kind of boomerang? No, I didn't. We have him. This is why he's not in the demo. It got down really close, and like you can even ask the testers. I had testers playing the game right before the demo launched, and they was like, "What are these white squares?" So I didn't get to the art yet. I want to get to that. However, I would rather focus on these first, and then when we have time, get to that. Oop, don't do that. Oh, get out of there. Okay. With the wraith, you can make it so that sometimes you get 3 different wraiths with 2 fakes. What would the fakes do? So you have to find the real one. Could do that, but I mean, we'd have to. You'd want to, so long as they have a good function. Like I don't want to hit the wraith and then it not do anything. I think that would be frustrating. It would be cool for an enemy to cool your team and abilities. Now you're talking about frost. Now I do want to do some magic enemies. So one of the things the enemies are lacking right now is none of them magic. This is a very magical world. You're going to find lots of magic, including enemies. And at some point I want to do a mage enemy, but I think that'll be for another stream. We'll see. So let's get started with this guy. I'm going to, where are we at with this? Spirit here, yeah. Now as you can see, I've got 2 different versions here. And the reason this is for those unaware, is the, his skull is a bit of part of it. And like this is a spirit that wears his own skull. He started out as a sort of wailing enemy. Like he's more of a sad entity. And he sort of evolved into something else. But the idea was going to be that like he would sort of wander around, and when you got close, he would run off and go get the attention of others. He's a bit of a sad entity. The idea being that he's crying or whatever. We sort of changed it a bit to make him more aggressive. I wanted to do a combination of 2, but with the red eyes, it's sort of difficult to do. I still want to, because you can see that he still seems kind of sad. I still want to try to work that in there if possible. But the idea that I'm thinking now is that you'll come across it and it'll drop its skull like into the ground and become a shadow that sort of moves along the ground, and then it lunges up at you, and you've got to get to the skull to destroy it before it can damage you. We'll have to see how that works in testing. But what I want to do today, because I know for a fact I'm going to drop his skull. I don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but what we're going to do now is try to get that going. Like, what does that look like? That kind of thing. Water should increase speed. What are we talking about water for? Like moving across water. Water would slow your speed down. What is the best advice you could give to a programmer starting pixel art? Practice. So, when I started out, I wasn't no good, and the thing that helped me was just putting your head down and working. Let's see if I got the skull separated. I do. Interesting. I'm gonna see if I can copy both the. Nope, not that. Ah, come on now. Okay, what I'm going to do, since this wants to be a pain, I'm going to, come on. You'll find that I am very clumsy with Ace Right. So we got there. We got there eventually. We're going to go 64 by 64. We're going to try to get this guy dropping his skull and see what that would look like. I want to make a cool animation for it. Yeah. Is Zoe a male or female? To be clear, Zoe is not the player. The Zoe is a mystery. Like, and as for... If you're aware of that, then I don't answer questions about the demo. You'll have to figure that out yourself. That's the fun of it. It's Voldemort. Let's see here. Alright, so we're going to try to get this guy going. Skull opens mouth. We could do that. I still want, because he used to have blue eyes. Let me see if I can pull up an old one. Right, quick. New enemy sounds fun. I wonder if there will be a hack and slash type of enemy. What do you mean like a hack and slash type of enemy? Now, I'm not trying to make a hack and slash type of game. While the combat is good, it's the part that I care least about. I don't want it to be just full of combat. I'm more interested in the RPG elements of it. playing with the different play styles. You know, you can be a mage, you can do this, you can interact with the environment, kind of thing. Combat is just to make it interesting along the way. And I'm not particularly fond of the hack and slash genre, especially. Here, this should be it. Let me pull this up so we can so at least you have something to look at while I figure this out. There we have an enemy here. Probably this one. Nope. Here we go. This is what the spirit started out as. And you can see he had the blue eyes. I was trying to add that back. We might change his eye color based on his situation. I think that might be cool. Might be a little confusing. We'll have to see. But yeah, let's get his eyes going as blue. Okay. Really hope this game has a Metroidvania non-linear approach to it. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Don't know to what degree because I haven't played a lot of Metroidvanias, but I'm thinking sort of a non-linear approach would be nice. At the very least, it's going to be sort of open world exploration, like in the vein of Skyrim. Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls is really good. A good way to picture what I'm trying to do, but more of slice of life RPG kind of thing. I don't know, really. I mean, Skyrim's an RPG, but the world is open. You can go out and explore it, kind of thing. Yes, made the music. I'm gonna have to add that to the FAQ. I'm very proud of that title music, by the way. Like, I put a lot of effort in that one. I'm really glad with how that came out. We don't have this here. We're gonna sneak that there, just to make sure we have the good palette going. Because we might have some. This is an old sprite, so it looks like it has some old colors. I'm not gonna touch it for now. Instead, we're going to go ahead and get started on it. So that will be his idle sprite. I want to sort of get what the dropping would look like. Because I want it to be a bit of aggressive. Like, I want the player to notice, oh crap, he just dropped his head. I need to act fast. Because what I'm thinking is like his body will probably be invulnerable when the skull is dropped. The skull is vulnerable. And you have to get to the skull and attack it. We'll see how that works. I think it sounds fun, but it could be frustrating. so we'll see. So let me pop that off. Probably should do the same for here. There. Yeah. And we'll pop that. Oops. There. No, come on now. Tell you what, I'm going to merge that down. All right. Are you adding a character customizer? Yes, that is what is planned. So if you look here at the play, I think it's this one here. So as you can see here, all this comes off. So like the idea being that I can sort of take the sprites that you want in your character customization and sort of flatten them out and then put that on the player. So yeah, I'm expecting to have character customization. Somebody tell the reluctant artist get to work. Has he drawn the spirits yet? I don't think that he has. Yes, if Truck has not drawn the spirits yet, he needs to. What if you could only have 2 weapons at a time, like one melee, one ranged? I'm thinking of doing dual wielding, but we'll see how that goes. All right, so with the skull, we want to start a keyframe it maybe. So like we want the head down. Probably gonna rotate it a bit. Now I don't know how long we'll do the animating for. Animating is a bit of a long process, but I would rather be designing. But I really want to get this spirit in here. Into the demo because I think he's a really interesting enemy, and I want to have him like probably around the time that you leave the caves. I think that would be a good, because that's when like all hell's breaking loose and sort of a good way to introduce them, I think. Can you make a tutorial on your building system? I find it hard to place things on the grid. Yeah, I could probably do something like that. I thought I went into it though, like well, I mean, I don't really do tutorials. I've already mentioned it before. We'll see. But I went into it in the devlog, didn't I? Like how I'm placing things. Now with his skull off, we're gonna black out his eyes a bit. If you make spirits now, will there be wraith? What is the difference between a spirit and a wraith? I have played the demo. It was really good. Well, thank you. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I went into pretty good detail about the grid system. Like exactly what I'm doing with it. Feedback from the demo. The game is quite polished. I like the combat, but can't help but feel it is a little generic. I feel the game lacks focus, but all the characters in combat feel great. What do you mean lacks focus exactly? Wraith angry? This guy is going to be a bit angry. Oh, I'm probably chipping away too much of this head, but we'll figure that out. So I like the idea. That looks very haunted looking. I like it. Now with the demo, like there's a lot more coming. Like I've spent a lot of time on the combat, and like a lot of time on the most of my time has been going into the combat system, make sure it feels nice and polished. And the cutscene system took a lot longer than I expected it to. Like that's why the demo feels a little weird, because like I was like, yeah, I'll do this scene system. It'll take me a week. It'll be easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it took me a month, if not more. And that was an entire month I was wanting to dedicate to other things like the fishing mechanic and the character interactions and stuff like that. And so a lot of that got cut, unfortunately. So the demo is not quite where I want it to be. Oh, I'm not chipping that off. The demo is not quite where I want it to be, but I would expect that to catch up this month. I plan on putting a lot of work in. I already have. I'm going to keep doing it. Oh, speaking of which, with the Kickstarter out of the way, I would expect devlogs to be coming back. I've got a lot to catch up. There's a lot of stuff I did since the last time I did a devlog, and so I expect to catch up on all of that. Finally get to join the stream. Look at you. I feel like you have some strong elements to the story, and the combat feel disconnected. You should focus less on the story, make it less intrusive and less of the focus. It takes away from the game. Well, it's a demo. The story is not going to be as in your face, but it's the demo. I want to be like, here's the story. I've got 15 minutes to show it to you. You know, like I put it like really out there quickly. The actual gameplay probably won't be that way. It doesn't seem to make sense. No, somehow. Are you planning on making it? I've did the whole purchase of the Steam thing. I was going to do it for the Kickstarter, but I couldn't get it in time, so I'll just do it later. All right, so there's that skull. We're gonna have, and so that's I like that. And so that's what it's going to look like on the ground, and that's what you have to attack. That's your target. So with that, I'll probably do that in between later. So with that, we're going to have him drop down as well. I think you should have some sort of quest system and have the player take part in the story by themselves some overall. Really like the game, can't wait to play it more. There's going to be some quests. I'm not going to do a quest system. I don't think. My goal with the game is it's more of a go out and explore on your own kind of thing. And if you find a quest, great. Like I don't want to be like, go do this thing, for arbitrary reasons. I want you to go and find the things. It's going to be more open. Like I can't really do a big open thing for the demo. That's way out of scope. But yeah. What are we doing? Just got here. I am working on this enemy type. So this is, I'll explain it for those that are just joining. This is the spirit guy. And he's an enemy that I wanted to add some time ago, but never got around to it. And what he does, he well, I haven't really prototyped his behavior yet, so it's very much subject to change. The idea is that he'll sort of wander around until you get close to him. He'll drop down, leaving his skull on the ground, and chase you in his spirit form, sort of jumping up and attacking you. He is probably going to be invulnerable during that state, and you have to get to his skull to destroy it. I can feel your passion, man. You'll go forward. Thank you very much. It's a very important game to me. I've been working on the story. The story is the main reason I'm making the game. Well, that specifically, like the mechanics to it are nice, but for me, I'm in it for the story because I have been working on this story in one form or another since I was about 12, and so like I've been changed. It's not just like I say this a lot, and people probably think I made the story and then dropped it, but like I have been continually developing the story this entire time, and so I. Very happy to see it finally come to life. It's a bit of an emotional thing because it has been so long in the making. Yeah, playing the demo, bow holding looks a little weird. How does it look weird? In what way does it look weird? Any plans of adding a curse and blessing system? You talking about like buffs and debuffs? Yeah, probably. I like that. I'll just touch that up a bit, and then we'll have like a. I'm not going to do the skull for in between right quick, but. I'm going to do the spirit right quick. We'll just hide the skull. So with the spirit. Best of luck, dude. I'm keeping an eye on your stuff. Well, thank you. I'm excited for it. The arm just moves weirdly compared to the other items. It moves exactly the same. It doesn't have any different movement code that I'm aware of. I've got one code that handles all that swinging stuff. Your attitude towards game development is really inspiring. It's got me a better mindset for art and stuff I do. That's good to hear. I struggled with art, and so like I don't know if you're struggling with art as well, but I struggled with it for a while, and so hopefully you can feel inspired by that. I was a bit worried when you disappeared from YouTube and Twitter. I would never expect me to see me too much on Twitter. I'm not much of a Twitter user. I'm not much of a social media type person. I'm very, very much introverted. I don't like talking, so I wouldn't be surprised if I disappeared from Twitter for a while. But Discord is the place to get a hold of me. So if you were worried about that, I would seriously join the Discord. That's where you hear from me the most. And YouTube, I just put that on hold while I focused on the demo because. As you can see, it was already pretty close. I'm still working on the demo. It's not quite where I want it to be, but we're getting there. Bring this down a bit. Oops. See what that looks like. Now it feels a little laid back, maybe. Like he's laying down. I don't want that. I want to feel more aggressive. How would I do that? This probably could give it some forward motion or something. Discord, there it is. So to what extent do you plan to update the demo beyond bug fixes? I'm going to be, like, it's not at a point that I'm happy with it right now. So I'm going to be updating it for a while. Probably, like, it will reach it, like, there's going to be a lot more updates. With the demo, I want to convey what the game is. I don't feel like it's there yet, so I'm gonna get it there first, and there will come a point where like I'm not gonna add new biomes or anything to it. Like it's gonna stay about where it is, but it's gonna have extra activities because that's really the sort of the focus is the extra things that you can do. So like I'm gonna be adding in all that stuff like weapon enchanting, skills, the different classes. Not all of them. I'll add the base classes, all that stuff that I'm expecting to have in the actual game. But the demo won't get beyond like new areas to explore and that kind of thing. The gameplay might chill out a little bit because it is really quickly paced. Like I might bring it down another 5 minutes because I think it's about 10 minutes right now. I wanted it to be around 15, but I'm working on my first version of the game and the live stream is background is so satisfying. That's what people say. They say it's a good thing to work to, which I appreciate. I think people treat it more like a podcast, which I think is interesting. I think what I'm going to do here, because that's what I like to do these for. I like to do these more for chatting with y'all than just work in the background. Will you port it to Android? Not likely. I don't expect there to be a mobile port. It's a very resource-intensive game. Oh, crap, I did that on the wrong thing. Because I'm doing a lot of stuff with the AI that's very little taxing, and I don't expect that to work well on mobile. And the controls I don't expect to work well on mobile. And I'm not designing it with mobile in mind, so very, very unlikely that I do anything with mobile. That's covered in the facts, yes. It's covered in the facts. It will have gamepad support. I had to rip that out at the last minute because it was old code, so I just stripped it out so it was confusing to anyone. Because we had a couple testers that were like, "The control pad works good but for this," and I was like, "Oh wait, I forgot I had a control pad support." So yeah, it'll be there like probably soon because I do want control pad support. I'm also treating it as a podcast. I'm arting right now. What are you drawing? If you don't mind my asking. I screwed this up. This was looking alright. What are the specifications for the game? I haven't checked for any of that. Are you going to add a spear? There is a spear. I worked on a spear at some point, but it took up a bit of time. And spear is weird with the character. Because people like that was really when people started noticing that you couldn't have front and back facing sprites, because the spear feels a little weird with the side facing sprites. But yeah, I'm gonna undo all that. I liked it the way it was. Yeah, we'll just keep that. Probably do. Maybe we can bring his arms that way. Makes me think of like a child. Like he's jumping on a bed. Oh. That's good enough. I'm drawing more of the idea for this grab deco contest so that I can market it even more. That's something I need to. It was something I was wanting to do, and I need to get around to it soon. Is we was going to have something on our Discord server to where like people can draw out a scene, using the in-game canon or whatever, and I would then recreate that into the game. Like up to my interpretation, and we'd vote on it. So, if that's something we'll probably do, I can't promise we'll do it because I'm pretty, but I would really like that idea. So if that interests you, I would probably join the Discord because I think that'd be a lot of fun. Will you make an enemy with poison attacks? Yeah, we already have the poison effect. It's already implemented in the game, just nothing does it. So we will have poison. So I like that. We're gonna skip. No, we're not going to skip it. We're not done yet. Well, I'm going to save it right quick. Where? No, not ASC. So yeah, we already have, there's a lot of effects. And if you have any more suggestions for the effects too, like I would like to get those in. Because we already, like there's a whole effects system like you've seen with the fire. And it's really easy to implement. Like if I pull up the on fire effect. I think that's what it is. And this character set on fire. And it's just this. We turn particles on and we do damage. And so it's as simple as that and I've got a fire effect, It's really easy the way I have this set up, it's really easy for me to add effects in because all this does all the legwork. But yeah. How challenging will the end product be? And will there be difficulty settings? Now, it's a good question. People are already telling me the combat's pretty challenging, and it's about where I want it to be. I don't want it to be too challenging because challenging isn't what I'm aiming for. Like, I do want some challenge, but I'm not a gamer that enjoys challenge. Like, I don't play all these difficult games and stuff. I tend to play more easier games, or at least games on easier settings. So that's kind of what I want to do. Like, the idea of what I'm like. One of the good ways that I like to think about it is sort of Animal Crossing, like the casual nature of Animal Crossing combined with an RPG. Just, keeping things really simple and fun and lighthearted and that kind of thing. Lighthearted. So I don't want to do too challenging. Difficulty settings are a possibility, but we'll see when we get there. Spirit Raids with a Skull. How will you appease the Dark Souls crowd? I played Dark Souls for like 5 minutes. I was like, yeah, this game's not for me. so that'll answer your question. I mean, each game has their own target audience. My target audience, I seem to get that question a lot. I don't know if it's a very common thing. Maybe people get the wrong idea about the game. But my target audience is not geared towards challenging people, like people that like challenging experiences. Now, I imagine you probably will find something enjoyable in it, because I am taking I'm putting a lot of effort into my enemy designs. I'm making them interesting and unique, but not challenging in sort of the high skill kind of thing. More of a strategic thing is what I'm wanting for. I want you to focus on your positioning, like where do I need to be positioned for this attack to be better, or sort of, how do you work with your party members to make more strategic combat, that kind of thing. It's a challenge in that, but not so much the how fast can I press this button and how fast can I dodge kind of thing. Why don't you make the skull fall first and then the spirit go to the ground? Could do that. We could even lag it a bit. Something like that. That does feel a little more aggressive, doesn't it? Thank you for that. Yeah. $20 from Andrew. Whoa, I really appreciate the amount of thoughtfulness you put into your work. I will definitely set your game apart for the rest. Well, thank you very much, and thank you for the 20. I think a Morningstar type of weapon. We already have art for that, actually. That was going to be. I just haven't got around to it. So let me find that right quick. Would it be here? It would not. Would it be here? It would not. Hold on. Let me find it. Oh yeah, I bet I know where it's at. Or at least one place where it's at. We drew it in this one. Yeah. So we already have a mace. It looks pretty cool. I like how that looks. So you can see we did the axe at the same time. And we have the art for the mace. We just haven't added to the game yet. Now I'm thinking with mace. I think I've asked this question before. I don't remember where. I was trying to think about what sets the mace apart. Because with the axe is slow, has more knockback, and it does more damage. The mace, I'm not sure what to do with it. What sets it apart from everything else? Because when I add a new weapon, I want the weapon to sort of stand out on its own. I don't want it to just be a reskin. Will there be bosses? Yes, there will be some bosses. Bosses is not the focus, but there will be some bosses. The mace stuns. The mace could have a chance for stunning, yes. I'm going to make a note of that real quick. I think that could be cool. Slow or more range? It will have to be slow. I've already had some people complaining about the sluggishness of the axe. I disagree. I think to speed it up anymore would make it just a big sword. And I tend to like how it feels. But yeah. Mace can maybe the animation could be improved. Let's just see. Seems like there are some problems. Oh, I wouldn't. I have to look into it. I wouldn't know. Remember I had to get the weapon cooldown exploit. Yeah, we had an exploit in it. Let me find it right quick. Or I was. Oh, hold on. What am I doing? I'm getting distracted. We had an exploit that Marrero found where you could switch the weapons really quickly and it would reset your cooldown timer, because I was storing the cooldown timer on the weapon, and so it was getting switched. So he was doing this really cool thing. So I have to find it. It was really cool. Hold on. Or he could switch his weapon like really quickly, and so that so the axe would become an OP thing. It's pretty funny. I have to find it. Here. Oh. Here. If I don't find it in a second, I'll just cancel that. But I would like to find it because it was pretty funny. There it is. So yeah, as you can see, like he does, he just does this really fast switching, and he's switching his weapon. Like you can't see it, but he's switching his weapon with the keyboard using the keybinds. And we had to fix that pretty quickly. Okay, played the demo and learned a lot from it. I also love your AI, but found an issue where you're running towards them with a wall behind them. Yeah, there's no pathfinding in the game right now. Well, other than the road, they pathfind along the road. I haven't had it added pathfinding yet because it's a tricky thing. I'll have to do dynamic pathfinding. I'm going to use nav maps, and so I'll have to sort of create the mesh for that and then cut it out as you're placing items. And big hassle that I haven't gotten around to it yet. I have, however, implemented teleportation. So if you leave far enough, they will teleport to where you were standing previously off screen and catch up to you. So yeah, now, quickest finger in the Wild West. I was trying to recreate it, and I was like, how the hell is he doing this? I mean, I was still doing it pretty quick, but like he was just, you can't even see him switching his weapon. Okay, so I wanted to do one without the skull. I want to see what this guy looks like as he's attacking you. And so this is what he's like when he's going to be charging. I'm going to do this to the right. And I'm probably, no, we'll do it to the left because I'm probably going to have to flip that sprite to the right anyhow. So what should he look like as he's charging? We're gonna have to have two. We're gonna have to have like, and I want this to look sort of evil and sinister. We're gonna have to have one while he's charging at you. That's probably gonna sort of swim a bit, and we'll have to have one that's sort of coming up out of the ground and attacking you. Mario Breaker game. We've had a few of them that are pretty good at breaking. Truck's he's breaking some of the menu stuff right now. I hate working with menus. So we've had some menu issues. It's such a tedious thing. They could have an auto clicker type software to switch quickly. I think he said he was just using the keyboard switching it. So I'm going to create a tag for this one. I trust Maro would tell me the truth. He's a moderator, so he wouldn't lie to me, I don't think. Hopefully not. For some reason, the animation without the head makes me think he's throwing his skull at you. Sailor. No. Because his skull is the vulnerable part. Like, if it gets damaged, he dies. So, I don't think that would work out so well. So, what does this look like? I'm thinking broad head, and that narrows at the body. And let's grab his eye color right quick. Oh, we don't have this on the skull. Okay. Let's go back here then. I also want to figure out what this looks like. I don't want to go with this look, the shape. I think I want to do something else. The concept behind the enemy is really cool. I think so, and thank you. When you update the dialogue text, it's higher resolution than the rest of the game. I was using a lower resolution, but I found it was difficult to read. And so I decided for readability over just adhering to the resolution. If I can find a good pixel art font that's easy to read, then I will go with it. But for the moment, no. I'd rather people be able to read, especially since it's a story-based game. It's a lot of story to it. I would rather people be able to read the story than having to have issues with that. Oh, so yeah, I'm going to be doing the red eye there. We're going to use those colors. We're going to get rid of this skull here because it won't be in that frame. When's the next devlog? I'm going to start working on it as soon as possible. Probably quickly after I get off this stream. There's a few things I want to do on the demo first. A few patches I want to make. But I'm going to be working on that. I would expect it sometime this weekend probably. How does Ghost attack Swiper Magic Shadow Ball? I'm thinking he's more of a jumps up at you. Like he'll swim along the ground. Sort of something like that. And so, like, you can imagine him sort of swimming like that, and then he'll, like, sort of like a dolphin, kind of jump up and attack you. I think that's not too bad. Maybe narrow this a bit more. I liked it better the other way. Okay, and so we're going to animate that right quick. Death Stranding, BT attack. I've never played Death Stranding, so I don't know what that is. Majestic Wraith. You think it's majestic? I wasn't thinking like a nice, pleasant swim. I was thinking of more of an aggressive, soil your pants type of swim. Like if you see him swimming at you, like you need to act fast. And I don't know how well this will play out because there's a lot of questions I have for it, how it's going to feel. So we'll see. Skull dolphin, yes. Does it swim like an eel? I have to look at what an eel swims like. Now they're getting this to look like a swimming animation on this 2D plane like this is difficult because it's already looking like he's coming out of the ground. And I don't think I want his head to move. I think I want the head to stay still and sort of the tail to lag behind a bit. I'm going to turn on onion skinning. This should help with the positioning and stuff. The idea that the go swimming and she's creepy. Yeah, I think it could be good. I think it could be very sort of rushing, like exhilarating. Yeah, I think that looks all right. I think that looks all right. Then I'm gonna add in another one here. I think it could do well there. I have to look at the motion for this kind of thing because it looks a little off. I think maybe because I need something like the other one in the middle, but coming back the other way. I think it had it, yeah. So I'm thinking this, sort of like that one, except for in the other direction. Yeah, I'm probably, yeah, I think that's all right. I need to sort of bring that up a bit more though. I love the animation already. I think it's pretty good. I want it to be very wispy, and I think it's getting there. I think it's doing that. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Let's see. Hi, Game Endeavor. Been following you since the last devlog. Haven't played the demo, but I might check it out soon. You should have time. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. Still, is still being worked on. So I'm getting there. I'm going to take off that top there, actually. Oops. So yeah, I think that's about all I need for him. Really? Oh no, we need the jumping attack. Right. I'm gonna rename this right quick so we can see it as well. Sure, we'll call it swimming. Canonically, he is swimming. Oops. I'll create a tag for this. I'm gonna need an idle one, but I'll do that another time. I can already hear Marrero giving me eyes. You might want to check out the demo to answer that. There you go. There's some jaggies on the underside. This is pixel art. No, I'm not too concerned about jaggies. Depends on the jaggy. Oh, that one there. I don't concern myself too much with jaggies. Depends on what I'm going for. I think it makes pixel art look a little rugged. If you go really smooth, you get a really smooth texture. And sometimes you just need a really jagged texture. That's my opinion, at least. Okay. I think that's pretty good. Did I not save this? Alright, so this will be, we'll just call him Spirit. I don't know if that'll be his actual name. It's a little bland, but we'll get there. Will water level swimming be a mechanic? We get asked that a few times. I'm considering it, but the thing about that is it really changes the way that I can design the world. Because right now I can use water as a barrier. And if I put water down, people might explore it and expect there to be treasures on the other side. So I have to make sure that there's treasure everywhere I put water. And so it really affects the world design. It's a possibility. I think it would be cool, but we'll see. His name is Jonathan. Our secret base is like Pokemon RSC out of the question. The bases became an interesting question because at the moment you can build anywhere in the world. There's going to be limits. I'm going to have places where you can't build. Like I don't want you building in Teddy's house, for example. That's his house, you know, stay out of it, kind of thing. So bases is an interesting question because at any point, like you could set up anywhere really at the currently. I was going to do lodges, but I didn't get it in time to be implemented in the demo. And then now if I was to add it, people might be like, I can't build anywhere anymore. And it seems like people were having fun building, and it could open up some interesting gameplay. Like maybe you can place down sort of like, I don't want to make it a tower defense game, but it could be possible that you could place down towers and that kind of thing. So it's, I don't know how I'm going to do bases right now. I've already answered your question, Pokey. Hey, it's easy. Welcome to the stream, bud. So let me get rid of this. Okay, so now we need the up attack. I'm gonna grab. Just don't mention. Yeah, looks a lot better. All right, so I'm gonna grab this. Invite friends with extra base. That's it. And join the Discord. I would suggest it. Discord's a cool place. That's where all the cool people are. That's where I'm most active. Like I said before, like I'm not much of a Twitter user. YouTube's a sort of when I get to it kind of thing, but I'm on Discord every day for usually a good bit of time. I waste more time than I should on Discord. So that's the best way to interact with me, to be honest. And I stream there as well sometimes. Like I'll do coding and stuff there. Make it fast. Now, we have to like it'll that will depend on as we develop it, because keep in mind it's going to be invulnerable, which could be a frustrating thing. So we'll see. Now, this probably isn't going to be a too common enemy, so we can make it a little frustrating. And we can make it powerful. So we'll see. So with this guy now, we want him to come out. What does it look like when he's attacking? I'm thinking we sort of come back to this. Without the scope, we don't have the... I should have grabbed it probably. I think we come back to this kind of thing here. To where we have a bit of that. We'll have them come up like that. Maybe give him some arms like that. Sort of a... It makes me think of something like he's jumping out of a corner to scare you. What if he almost dives through you? Well, the idea is this is how he attacks you. Do a tiki enemy. Seems a little out of place to do a tiki enemy. I would expect that more of like an island type thing, maybe. I feel like the spirit should swipe at you, claw attack or something. Maybe. Well, the thing is, if we do that, like I would expect him to pop up and attack, and then sort of not move during that time. And if we do that, I think the player might expect that they could attack it, because keep in mind he is invulnerable probably during this phase. So if we keep it moving, it might not seem like you can attack it. Is my guess. I would have to have that tested to find out for sure. New Discord emote. You think the spirit should be a new Discord emote? I don't know. He ain't got much personality yet. We'd have to give him some kind of interesting character trait. The spirit can't be attacked unless it's dizzy. As soon as it gets dizzy, leaving it open for attack. That's not too bad. I really like the idea of that you can only attack its skull, though. We might do that for another enemy. I'm going to make a note for that. Okay, so enemy runs around you and gets dizzy. Now that makes me think of... plus, it would be difficult to do that and so that it don't like bounce off of walls or whatever. Break dancing mushroom. that was one of the bosses that we was going to do. We ain't got around to that yet though. Bosses is a low priority on my list of things to do, but we will get around to that one sometime. That one seems like it'd be fun. Yeah. Have you seen the breakdancing mushroom yet? Because we designed the character. We just haven't made it yet. This guy right here. The idea being with him is that he was going to be a boss in the demo, like at the end of the cave. And the idea with him is like, hey guy, watch me bust a move. And then he starts spinning, and he can't control himself. And so he ends up becoming an enemy and doesn't realize it. So I would still like to do that at some point, but bosses are low priority right now. Yeah, I think it's a lot of fun, and I'm thinking he might be a reoccurring enemy as well. Okay, so with this goal, I think I want to try and add a bit of depth to it, if we can. I think I'll make the eyes darker. So if we could sort of add that bit of jawline in there, it might help a lot. Oh, I like the idea. I like how these are looking jagged as well. If we can sort of keep that evil grin look to it. Oh, now it looks like a head. We had it, and then we lost it. What if I do that? No, that just looks like a bad Jackie. Okay, now I want to try into, maybe we can make it more of a grin. Oh, that's not too bad. We're getting there. Oh, that's not too bad. I like it. And I want to try to give him some claws. Oh, and now it looks like a Grimer thing. No longer huggable? No. A Velociraptor has. Jonathan is out of the why do you feel like a top hat would fit? Why does everybody want to give them top hats? For those that are unaware, we have a bit of a running joke about top hats in the game. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to work out. I do need to do something, though, because it kind of reminds me of Grimer. Oh, how can we get around that? A dapper hat. He's a dapper fellow. There's a finite number of top hats in the world. Oh, not if Mad Cat keeps supplying them. He's on a mission to give everybody a hat. Okay. I think we might need to change the head shape a bit. I think that would go a long way. Maybe a little more pointed. Give some anti-aliasing in the corners. I don't do much anti-aliasing in my art. Poison effect, yeah, it would stand out if I did too much. Let's see. Add a top hat sticker. Honestly, that's a good idea. I'm wanting to do merchandise at some point, and so a top hat sticker would be fun. Dripping mouth with giant teeth. I was trying to get like a sort of crackly mouth, maybe teeth kind of thing. Does it look drippy? It wasn't supposed to look drippy. Tricky. Add some teeth, maybe? Maybe. What if we use like a different color? Okay, not at the bottom, but maybe here. Oh, that's getting creepy. I like it. I might go up a bit. Might be a bit too much. No. Teeth, yes. Dripping, no. Okay. That's kind of goofy. Praise the top hat. What if we make the mouth bigger? Now, oh, by the way, the like this guy is sort of be what you would expect to find in the dream of the demon god. Like this is sort of what you kind of thing you would see over there. So that's what the origins of the spirits. Why I made him originally. When he was supposed to be coming through the portals. So like whenever the portal cracks, or not the portal, but the reality starts cracking, these would come out. But yeah, that's gonna be a little trickier because the story sort of changed at a point. Well, not changed, but like the layout of how events happened changed a bit. The quickness of your creative process is making me jealous. I don't know what you're talking about. What if he kind of slimely moves, creating shadow puddles? Meaning he has no legs. Interesting idea. The idea of shadow puddles. I don't know if that would confuse the player though. But I like that concept. I'm going to make a note of that. Shadow puddles. I'm going to put spirit monster in parentheses. He looks happy to see us. He does look a little happy. It was meant to be a creepy smile, but I think I've lost that. Oh, let's see. And for the magic thing, you could get rid of him. I think that would be even more confusing. Water magic could be a thing. I don't think I like that. Shadow puddle, then he jumps in between them. Seems like a lot of work. I just want to have him running around. I think limiting his movement would sort of reduce the effectiveness of him. Maybe make the smile taller. Oh, you mean bring it up a bit? We could try that. He does look really, really happy. I mean, that could work too, though. Maybe the head, maybe the eyes as well. And then that. He is happy to be on a stream. He is. He ain't been touched in a while. I guess he would be happy. He is a goofy looking one. We might just leave it though. It is a bit of a goofy game. He was supposed to look very angry though. I sort of left that. The demo was awesome. When will the first full version be out and will it cost? The full version is expected to be around 3 years or so, and it would be $20. He just wants a hug. Purple monster. No, he's not a magical monster, so he's not purple. I hope there is a class of shadow creatures such as corrupted will-o-wisp, shades, and sludges. Yeah, they probably could do something like that. I think I'm gonna move on from him from now. And let's take a look. Let's see. I either want to do the brute. What time are we looking at? Yeah, well, only an hour in. I either want to do the brute, or I want to design and concept that sack attack enemy. What would y'all want to do? So we have this brute here. I want to put him in the game. He's like a one-time enemy. I'm gonna hide him. You'd have to find him in a secret area, or we could do this a sack attack enemy that you'd find in the caves, and it has a they have a ball that they throw around. And so, and it's sort of like a hot potato ball, and you're supposed to avoid it. And as you take them out, they get more difficult because they sort of throw it to you more often. Make enemies that the player can eat. Oh, let's see. So yeah, what would y'all rather do? Would y'all rather do the brute or design a new enemy? Every time your enemy turns red. I could do something interesting like that. Not fitting to the game context, but I love the thought of the game of fighting Karens. No. A bit too meanish. Can the brute have the same rotation attack as the skeleton's player? Well, the thing about that is he has arms, and I think the arms really contribute to his character. And so, no, I don't believe he can, unfortunately. Maybe you can continually find him throughout the game like a side boss that you can choose to fight or not. This brute here, no, the brute's a common enemy. Like it's just not like in the demo you're gonna see him once. He's not gonna be like a common fodder enemy. Like he's sort of like a mini boss. Not really a mini boss. Like if you've ever played Dragon's Dogma, like it's a bit like an ogre. Or I think it's an ogre or a cyclops. Or like, you know, there's bunches of cyclopses, but they're really tough. Or trolls, you know. Maybe he could rush with his horns. That's what I'm thinking. It feels like the easy way out, though, because there's a lot of... That's a very common type of thing to do. Almost expected to do so in RPG games like this. I would like to avoid that if possible. But with the horns, he kind of is expected to do it. And another thing that we need to consider is we have the undead version over here. Let's pull him up as well. Pull these together. So we can sort of plan this out together. And you'll attack him. You'll have to fight him as well at some point. Not in the demo, but yeah, you was going to in the demo, but things changed. Punch the floor to knock everyone near up, by up. I thought about that. Yeah, like maybe a stomp thing, maybe. And one of the things I'm considering with my game is like enemy movement. Like what ways do we make him move interesting? So we'll have to plan that as well, because I think movement's a fun thing to play around with. Maybe he can use a giant squeaky hammer. The thing about attacks and hammers is he only faces left and right, which would make front and rear attacks weird. Not completely out of the question, like I said before. If we sort of... Maybe if we... Hold on. Why is it not drawing? Oops. There we go. So if we sort of do it equally distributed or whatever, we can do it. I don't know. Make him befriend, and when he becomes undead, he attacks you. No, he's like I said. He's and I don't know how to explain that. An uncommon enemy. Like he's not really uncommon, but you're going to see a few of these throughout the game. I don't want to make him unique. An armored version. Well, that was sort of the idea with this guy. Is like this is more of a barbaric type of enemy, where the undead version will be more armor clad, because he's a bit of a commander in the undead army. Maybe he's dumb and just uses his horns to attack at you and uses his body weight to slam the ground and stun the player. Body weight would be interesting, maybe. He's a tricky one. This is why I haven't done much with him yet, because I was going to, like, immediately after I drew him, and then I got to thinking, he's very tricky to do just because of the whole front and back thing. I mean, at another time I might add front and rear facing sprites, but for the time being, make him more dumb, like way to extend that where it is targetable. Maybe subvert the dominant next to have horns be hair. They just chill up in the cool shapes. No, I like the idea of them being horns. Oh, as interesting as that is. Let's see. I don't know. maybe he body slams. He's like a wrestler. Maybe he's actually a tongue like a frog. That would be an interesting trait too. He takes out a comb to do his horns before attacking. I like the wrestler idea. I think it's interesting. Certainly could do something like that. For movement, he should have a lot of follow-up movement in the same direction in wide turns. Yeah. He should be able to roll and dodge. I agree. I think we'll have him do a dodge roll thing. Okay. I think what we're going to do is, we're going to have him do body slams. Like swan dive type body slams. What is exactly a body slam? Maybe his shoulder pauldron is the real secret face. No, I think the idea with the pauldrons is that he's sort of like he kills skellies and takes their skulls. So I think that's where that comes from. I have to rewatch that stream again to see, but I think that's the idea there. Which I'm also going to have to sort of make sure it's up to pour before we start. Make sure everything looks good. How do you feel about mimics that are capable of becoming doors, chests, boulders, etc.? Could be interesting. We've already talked about a mimic pet that would act like a portable storage. So mimics are a possibility. Like in Terraria, don't starve. Well, mimics are very common, extremely. It's Kickstarter. Kickstarter is not a command, unfortunately. His hugs are too strong for this world. Let's see. Okay, let's get this guy. Like what? Commands are a Nightbot thing. I think any key set those up. So I'll have to see. How about a stomp attack? An all earth elemental like or not back then? He could do a stomp. I think we're going to focus first on the body slam. A giant slime boss. Only if it's interesting. I don't plan on doing slimes unless I can do an interesting take on it. Because slimes are very, very, very cliche. Now I do have this guy. Little a skelly jelly is what he is. And the reason the only reason I'm doing that slime is because I think it's interesting to have a skull and a slime. Are they like elephant feet? Could be. Now this is the time before when I wasn't that great at drawing feet. My style changed a bit. We could give him more feet. I've come a long way since those days. Not too long though. Nope. So yeah, let's go ahead and save this. He needs a name as well. Oh, speaking of which, okay, make sure I saved that as an ASC. I have an idea for a tiny dragon, a big dragon that should drop an egg that you can hatch into a baby dragon. A pet dragon would be lit? Yeah, maybe. I think that would be cool. Alright. I like slimes in horror settings, so it'll eat you, dealing acidic damage to you with no escape, loss of pain, never. I don't think we could implement that as a combat mechanic, to be honest. A bit too long of a process. So let's see. So what do I want to start with? I want to touch the sprite up a bit. I'm not happy with how this skull looks, for example. You need a chainsaw. No, that's too out of place for this game. It's a very primitive setting. Like, I don't even want to have crossbows. So, sorry, but that's really far out of place. I think we'll raise this up a bit. So yeah, I'm going to touch this up first. Make sure he looks good. Because he looks a little flat. Maybe he could slam his fist into the ground and create a shockwave line that will grow and fade away if you touch it and get frozen for a second. The Uncursed Streamer is now live on Kickstarter. Come support Games Together and get some perks in the process. Indeed. Now, there's a really cool thing I want to do. Teddy's Diary, which is one of the, I think it's $45. It's one of the things I want to do where, like, a cool little thing where I'll sketch out, you know, a little diary for Teddy, and we'll probably include some cookie recipes and that kind of thing. So I think that would be pretty cool. I'm looking forward to doing that one. It could work for combat mechanic, the slimy thing. Like, you step on a slime and you're stuck and you're slowly dropping your health bar, and you must quickly press one button. I don't want to do quickly pressing buttons. I never think that's fun in games, having to button mash. It's also bad for people that can't really do that kind of thing. He needs a tattoo. Maybe he can get a tattoo, like a heart on his bicep. Hearts, I think we're going to reserve hearts for Teddy. But if we could come up with something equally as amusing, I think we're going to give a bit of depth to his arm as well. Looks like the fist is a bit funny looking, but yeah. He looks like he's sort of shaking his fist at you. Let's see. Maybe a few scars I can make. Oh, scars would be an interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. What color would we do for that? I think scars are a bit more reddish, ain't they? Like on a normal skin. So what if we took like that? Scars would look badass, yeah. Give him a teddy bear tattoo. A bit difficult to pull that off. Teddy bear, that would be a very small tattoo. What if you make Wraith body more triangular shaped coming out of the ground? Could do that. Might even do some smearing, actually, now that you mention it. Because it's going to be really quickly. Like, the player don't have to see that. We could sort of skew it a bit. I don't know if there's an easy way to do that in A-Sprite. Sort of deform it up a bit more. That's a good idea. Give it more impact? Yeah. You should drop a teddy bear furniture item. We would have to explain that somehow. Like, we can't just do that without really getting into that. Bring that up a bit more. Alright. What kind of thing could we do, though? It is a shame about the heart, though. That would have been a pretty cool tattoo. It's hard to do heart in such a small scale, though. Does his copy turn into the spirit monster from earlier? Oh, we need to make it bigger for one thing though. It's pretty small. We could do something like that. Let's see. It don't look like it's there though, which is the tricky thing. Maybe that's why. Maybe it needs. Maybe we give it more shade. Let's see. Make it so he has a chance to run and cry if he gets low on HP, so it looks like he's not all brute. No, I think I want. I don't think I wanted to go too far that way with it. I do think he is a badass, and I think we don't want to make him look like a softy. I mean, the dude's got a skull on his crotch area, you know. He brings his teddy bear with him wherever he goes, and if he is idle, he can pull it out. Now we would need a good reason for him to have a teddy bear. And I'm thinking, like maybe I don't know, because like I said, I don't want him to be a softie, but if we could do something interesting in that regard, maybe, like, I don't know, it's hard to do, especially since he's not a unique character, so it's hard to do any kind of character development. $10 from Carlos. Love the state machines video. I added yours to my project, and I wonder how you get the current state within the player GD, or if you create variables for each state that you updated in your player SM. I'm doing state machines a little bit differently than I used to do. I'll show you right quick. And thank you very much for the $10. Let's see. So now this may not be the best method. It's not the cleanest. It can certainly be confusing at times. But I have here, I'm using, let me pull up the state machine itself. And I probably can optimize this as well. No, not that one. Can we go? So as you can see here, what I'm doing is I'm generating a method name using the name of the state, and then I'm checking to see if it has that method, and I call that method. I could probably cache that for maybe a bit of performance boost. I'll have to see. I haven't tested to see if it's not performance friendly, because I mean, if it's not a problem, then I wouldn't worry about it. But and then I call this, and I've got these methods here. The trouble, it's good here. The trouble tends to be like following the flow of the logic for like, because as you can see, I've got. I don't think I have any here. No. But if I pull up like Skelly. And I'll go all the way down. And I usually keep them all down here as well, so just so they're easy to find. So here, I think this is one. Yeah. So it can be a little difficult to get the flow of the things sometimes because you have to keep following through. But yeah, that's what I do for now. And I like this because it allows me to I get code completion and all that fun stuff that I can have without having to do all the parent dot stuff that I had to do in the other one. So yeah. I like it a lot better than what I was doing. It's a custom language for the engine, yeah, GD script. Yeah, I can use a couple ones. The big ones are C# and GD script, but there's also like C++ and Truck made a GIF. I have to check it out. Let's see. This is our reluctant artist. It looks like he died again. Good job, Chuck. Nicely done. Chuck's He's got the title Reluctant Artist because he draws their stuff. $2 for the Raise the Turtle. Hope you're having a good day. I'm having a great day. Thank you very much. Oh, and enjoying the stream. Chilling out with y'all. Do you sing by any chance? So much sound isolation. No, I do. Well, I do the devlogs. I've got all this stuff. Now, back in high school, I did some vocals. I was actually a vocalist for death metal, and no kind of death metal. I call it death metal. More like a hardcore metal, I reckon. So I did that kind of thing. But no, all the sound stuff is just for the devlogs. I try to make them as good quality as I can, but you know. And I'm thinking of keeping my state machine inside of the player script there, just so that I don't have any duplicate variables. Yeah. Yeah. I like the approach that I take because it's external. Because keeping it in your script like that, you have to keep recreating it whenever you create something different. But doing that way, I can still have the script inside the class, which I really like. You were? Yeah, I was. Apparently Benji never seen the streams. Better sing so we can, if it'll get Kickstarter stuff. No. What else? See? You have to worry about it because it can get kind of loud. I don't know what to sing. Somebody give me a line to sing. And if it's funny, I'll do it. So let's see. But yeah, I was in a band when I was a teenager, and I did the death metal stuff. Was well known for it in my area. Pretty sure a full Rammstein cover should be in the first stretch goal. We could do something interesting with that as a stretch goal. He had long hair back in those days. In fact, I did. Puppies are cute. Puppies are cute. There you go. Yes. What high school now? Raindrops on roses, whiskers on kittens. Too curious? No. Let's see. But yeah, good old days. How did you start learning programming? I did an entire video on that, actually. Chocolate rain. Silly. Kind of like it. Alright, now I gotta get this guy animated. I don't like these skulls. These skulls are gonna be difficult. I don't know why I chose to make them so diagonal. Will you add 21.9 support? I don't have much support for resolutions at all, to be honest. But I will get around to, I will take a look at all that kind of stuff. Are there going to be mini games like in Zelda? I don't know. I haven't considered mini games. What kind of mini games does Zelda have, really? Other than like the bow shooting thing, I guess. If I can think of an interesting mini game, maybe. One thing I am thinking of doing, like if the Kickstarter does well enough, I'm considering adding multiplayer. And so, sort of one of the warm-up things I'm thinking of doing is creating like a separate from the main game, but mini game sort of multiplayer mini game thing, to sort of teach me how to do programming for multiplayer stuff. So that's a possibility, but it's not one of the things I'm guaranteeing because multiplayer is difficult, and I don't want to get bogged down by it. Grow and dye your beard to make it look like Teddy's? No, I like my beard how it is. What name of program do you use to make sprites? Sprite. Anytime you see a program, you can see the name of it in the top left corner, at least on Windows. Pro tip. But it's all Sprite. I think I'm going to add a bit of black line there. Yeah. Okay. Now we still need to work on this. I'm not going to, I'll tell you what, I'll do the skull later. I'll just go back to the art and redo it. Okay. Well, how much time we got? Let's determine what I need to do. Okay, we got about half an hour left. What can I do in half an hour? I think we might just do I don't want to do a walk animation. That could be difficult. So what we said? We said maybe kind of give him like wrestler vibes. Maybe do a slam attack. Mecha Flamingo? No, I think I want to work on this guy. Because I do want to get him I really would like to get him into the game. I've been wanting to have him in the game for a while. Make a copy of him, try a variant. That's one thing I do need to. Well, I would have done that, you know. A variant of this guy, like a change it up a bit. He should have a pouch on his torso for his teddy. I haven't said he's gonna have a teddy. That was y'all's doing. I haven't agreed to that shenanigans. Because he's not a softie. He's a big tough boy. He's a big strong boy. Oh, you could have him throw power. Could have him throw stuff. Yes. Oh, that's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea at all. Okay. Yeah, I think we're going to make him throw stuff. Maybe a hatchet? Let's give him a hatchet. Okay. We getting somewhere now. Let me copy that over there just to make sure we got it. All right. Maybe a hatchet. Any plans for a mechanic work? No. This is a primitive setting, Jake. This is magic, not mechanics. Jeez. Wait, oh no, never mind. Hold on, let me reread. I read mechanic as mechanical. Any plans for a mechanic where the creature, each of the player, can be grabbed and thrown? That would be cool. That would be cool, actually. Maybe, Jake. I'm going to make a note of that. My apologies for misreading. What if he rams you while running in 4 legs? On all 4s? No. Maybe. Maybe he's like a big dog. We could possibly do that. What I'm gonna do? Okay, we're gonna scrap that. I'm going to. I'm gonna try to redesign him. I'm gonna grab a reference right quick so I can have something to look at. There. I'm gonna have him crouch down on all 4s. Baby brutes. We could have some baby brutes. Feels like it might be kind of mean having to kill baby brutes though. They all have his expression. With this little brute family. Oh, but then you'd have to hurt them. And maybe a wooden club. If we give him a club or anything, it would be a hammer. Because that would be like not a hammer, but like a ham bone. Because we had this really great hammer joke that we were going to do. So if we do that, that's what we would do. Due to his size, a ram attack with those with tons of knockback would be scary. Yes, but a ram attack would be the expected cliched thing. So I want to avoid the cliche and go in a different direction with it. So I'm going to. Oops. Wait, is that? Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that. If you Alt M, you'll make a linked thing. Did not know that. Good to know. All right, so I'm going to get rid of everything except for that. So we have a reference for the size. Rip his own horn off. No, jeez. maybe he can high five his weapon. Like, why would he high five his weapon? Having 2 brutes high five would be funny though. But no, I think we're going to look at the. I don't know that I want to make him a dog though. I really like the idea of this tall standing brute. Turns invisible. No, I don't think I want to go that route with it. An invisible enemy would be interesting though. I'm going to add the note for that. I just don't want to do it for this guy. Maybe I can find him in the wild eating grass. Maybe it's a cow. It's a cow horns. Oh, fine brute. Eating grass. It's not. I'm taking a note for it because it's funny, but it's not a guaranteed thing. The telegraph, the attack telegraph animation is a slap on the blade. Or if it's the hammer, he could chew on it like. That would be interesting. You should only see its shadow. What, the brute? No. Oh, is that where the invisibility thing came from? Because I got rid of the image. Let's see. No, you know what? I like Jake's idea of picking the player up and throwing them. I think we might go into that. What do y'all think of that? Well, that would be, how difficult would that be to do? Probably not too difficult. We'd have to have a picked up animation. Set the player state. I've done this kind of thing before for a different game. We could do that and then have him throw. And he tries to throw you at a wall, maybe. I like that idea. Sounds like a lot of code. It doesn't sound too bad, actually. Maybe. The only issue I have with is the physics issues, maybe. But I think it could be interesting. It doesn't sound like that bad. I think that's what we're going to go with. That would be annoying. Perfect. I don't want it to be annoying. I think it's going to be quick. But I think it could be interesting. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to go with. Okay. We don't have to have him right now. There's other important things to do for the demo. Maybe I could do this later. But I like this idea. Thank you for the idea, Jake. Even if I misread it. That scaly eyes, man. They're going to irritate me. I don't know how to do them. And he tries to tear you apart? That sounds gruesome. Do not know how to do those eyes. Okay, so let's see. I guess we'll do like a grabbing animation. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of that. Okay, that. You can't get close though, he will likely throw you. That's the idea. Like you want to keep your distance and not let him grab you. Otherwise he'll pick you up and quickly, so it's not frustrating, he'll pick you up and quickly throw you into a wall. And that's where you take your damage. I think that could be cool. So we're going to have a grabbing animation. Let me grab a color here. I want to have him sort of reach out. Let me do that on a different layer. But now I've done this kind of thing before. It's not too bad. The only issues you have with this like physics and stuff. So you have to make sure you get your physics right. You don't just spawn the player into a wall. What's the pickup pose going to look like? Or the grabbing pose? I think we want to have a shoulder come forward. Probably a bit more than that. Probably have him kneel down a bit. Quick snatch, yeah. It's just a quick thing. Like if you gotta react real quickly. You gotta keep out of his range, which will be fun for melee. And plus, like we can throw in the horn thing, like with the charging. He'll be able to charge at you as well, which should be fun. So let me get rid of this so I can sort of see better. I like it. Okay. What if I copy that? Can we move both of them? I can't. I think I want to move him down a bit. Maybe pull that leg back. Something like that. And bring his shoulders a bit more forward. Yeah, we're getting there. Like the big orcs in your game, or the what is he? Like the big orcs in your game, Orc Slayer. Those were from from OX72s, and I don't remember how they looked, to be honest. Those were pretty interesting, though. These I don't think I had these in mind. Those in mind when I did this. I created this guy some time ago, but so I don't really remember what the inspiration was. Your game looks awesome. Well, thank you. I think it's pretty good. I like that pose. It looks pretty good. A little imbalanced. Maybe we need to bring this foot forward more. Maybe this one not so much. I'm at the hammer distance. Whatever. Come on. If he does too much ramming and you dodge the ram, he gets dizzy. We could do that. I'll make a note of that. Get rid of shadows. I hate working with shadows while I work. He chases you if you make him turn too many times. Too much? Just too much. Then he gets dizzy. We'll take a look at that. By the way, I'd like to know the main character's canon name. Doesn't have a canon name. Just hero. Why are you all so morbid and gruesome? Maybe you can pick up the player like a football and use you like a ram to smash you to the wall and have the player leave the the last part would be a lot of work, but I was actually thinking about that. Like he could pick you up and sort of ram you into the wall as well. So that's a possibility. But leaving a shaped impression into the wall would be a tricky thing. Name him Brutus. Well, it's not a unique enemy. Like that sounds like a unique enemy name. This is an uncommon enemy that you would probably find several times in the game. Not as common as a skelly, but Okay, we'll do that. And I'm probably not going to get into too much because there's not a whole lot of time. I'm just going to sort of plan out the animation. Because, there's only about 20 minutes left. Horn Brute. I like the horns. I think they're pretty good. I think that was one of the ideas, is to give him a small head with a big horns. I can't remember. Okay. And then we're going to want to have like a throwing pose. So that's when he reaches out to you. Now we have to be careful with this kind of thing because this kind of mechanic can be frustrating in a game. So I'm going to, instead of that one, I'm going to copy that one. What if there were little costumes for truffles? I'm thinking we might do that. Could even do that as a stretch goal. Because I would like to do it. It would be a lot of work. I want to do, or just pet cosmetics in general could be a stretch goal. I would like to do that, but it would be a lot of work for such a simple thing. Say in the game that he is made from cool tin cans. Why would he be made from cool tin cans? That doesn't make sense. Okay, so we got that. We probably want to bring the head back, bring the body back a little bit more. Like that. Yeah. Could be interesting. Bring both of those back more. I like it. That one not so. Oops. A little less on that one. Make him have a hammer. We have a joke if we give him a hammer, which we might. That he has, it's a ham hock called the hammer, like a ham bone. But the thing about attacking with this guy is he's only got side facing sprites, so it's difficult to do because he can't really attack front and back. And I don't want to take his arms away to do what I do with the player. Maybe there's a stage when he's back his vulnerable so you can strike. Could do something like that. I do want to have sort of that kind of thing where like you can attack enemies from behind if you sneak up on them. Now with this, I would think I might get rid of that. Probably want to bring this leg back a bit and bring it down some. Perhaps sort of take that leg out, but stretch it out a bit. Let's start with that one. Maybe a bit too much. And we'll have this come back more. Because I want to slant that body a bit. Too much. There. Maybe when you close, or when you get close to a brute, text pop up and has a roar. How you spell it? Could do that because every character is capable of doing speech bubbles. That includes enemies, so I could do that. I could even do sound. I think that would be better. Just sort of a roaring sound. Kind of knew what's with the bear meme. That is Paul Bearer. That is the origins of my channel. I started out as a tutorial maker, and he was my my assistant. I'm thinking this enemy could have a lot of random appearance stuff going on. Scratches, bone necklaces, maybe one. Like just little random variations. That could be cool. I'm making note of that. See, ogre. No, not ogre. Brute enemy could have random cosmetic variations. And then in parentheses, what did you say? Scratches, bone necklaces, maybe a broken horn. Now with this guy, we have to consider the broken horn as for here, because that's one of his things. Like once he's an undead and the necromancer has raised into the army, like he'll have a broken horn. And then, it's just something we have to consider if we go that route. Their appearance could be bio-dependent, depending on what place you could do that as well. If not him, then other enemies for sure. That would be cool. Brute, in parentheses, or other enemy could have biome-dependent appearance. Very cool. Or tattoos. Tattoos are difficult because it's such a small sprite. And like the most sensible one would be the heart one, but the heart is sort of reserved for Teddy and Betty. So tattoos are tricky, but I would like to do tattoos. Maybe some kind of tribal looking art. What would be a good color? Like maybe a goldish. Kind of looks like a scratch. We'll keep that there because that looks kind of cool. Something like that, Okay, so there we have. I feel like that's not reaching forward enough. So what I'm going to do, bring that leg even more. Bring that whole body forward. Maybe this as well. It's still a weak pose. Don't know why. Maybe we bring the head down more. I think that's doing it. Okay. Get rid of the shoulder just a little bit. He almost kind of looks like he's going in for a hug, though. Technically. The tattoo makes him look more too brutal? Maybe. He's not going to be on the regular. We'll probably have like different ones, different variants, different brutes with different personalities. Curve the back leg a bit, as in this one. Assuming that's what you mean by back leg. Hugging attack. Could be. What about ruffles? No. That is pretty funny though. I don't think any key would like that though. Suplexes you. If it uses larger weapons, he'll be slow enough to leave an opening to his back. Hitbox could extend further up or down to prevent the need of added sprites. That's what I was thinking. But you have to consider like how does that feel to the player? Maybe. Something we'd have to test. But I kind of like this idea of him grabbing you and throwing you. We could have different variants later on, maybe that have weapons. Maybe. His name could be Ruffian, a violent person, especially one involved in crime. Now keep in mind, this is not a unique character. We have to give him more of a group name. Like there's a bunch of these. You'll find them throughout the world. And it looks like we're going to be making them each have maybe their own sort of style, personality type to them. But like there's going to be plenty of these. Orc? No. We already have. He's not an. Well, that's very close to Augur, and I already have an Augur that I want to do. I don't have the art for it's not great. It's not even in this list. Let me pull him up if I can find him. I want to do an enemy type that can drop materials when killed, and there's other few things that I have planned for it, which I think would be pretty cool. Let me find it here. I think it was in the first enemies one that I did. I don't have the first one. Maybe I did. Surely I didn't delete it. Oh well. I'll have to find it. I also want to do this guy soon as well. I don't know what to do with him yet though. I have some ideas, but we'll see. Okay, so there's that. Oh, I just thought, like, what if he picks you up and slams you directly into the ground and then jumps back? That sounds painful. He might do that. So when we do that, I'm gonna do a keyframe for that to see what that would look like. Is there going to be a bestiary? Potentially. Yeah, that would be cool. Big goblin. I want to do avoid goblins. I want to make unique, memorable enemies. I don't want to do too many cliche ones. So, with this one, so he's going to take that and he's going to slam you directly into the ground. So we'll probably have a bit of smearing to really get that across. Is there a leveling system? Will there be? There is not currently, but there will be, yes. Add a secret dog if you go left in the caves early. Let's see. Oh, that's gonna be difficult. There. Hydra with wings. No one ever does that. like a big-headed Hydra. We're not doing anything too big right now. We're doing more small-time enemies. Are you able to talk about how the leveling system will work? I'm still designing it, so I haven't really figured out exactly how it's going to work. I'm thinking of, like, I don't want to be too complicated with it. I want this entire game. I don't want to make it complex for me to make, because the more complicated it is, the longer it's going to take me to get things done. And two, I just want to have a good, casual, fun game. So I'm thinking just having them based on skills, like how Stardew Valley has like you go to sleep and you level up your mining, combat, that kind of thing. I'm thinking something like that, maybe. except for like magic and all that other stuff. I kind of like how they did that, where it's very simple, but you can see the progress you're making, and you get perks along the way. And that leaves the question of how we're going to do magic. Because originally I was thinking I was going to do it as a skill tree. I might change that because I don't want it to be cumbersome. I don't want the player to be like have to go through a list of things to figure out what they want whenever they level up. So maybe if they can acquire skills and abilities as they play the game, I think that might be interesting. Sort of like Skyrim, to where you can purchase spells. That might be interesting. I'll be extremely happy if you add a dog anywhere. There's going to be a dog, probably, more than likely. For one, my dog Rex will be in the game as an Easter egg. And I think we'll probably have some other ones, too. But yeah. If you... people on the Discord know who my dog Rex is. See if I can pull him up right quick. Here we go. I did a video on the Discord the other day. There's old Rex there. He's a sweet pup. So he's going to be an Easter egg in the game. And I really feel like he needs a bull somewhere in the name. Maybe. Could do something like that. Actually, no, that's not a bad idea. If we could do something like that, that would be cool. It's a race, not a single character? Yes. It's a whole thing. Now, each one will have their own... I mean, not each one, but like there'll be different variations of this enemy. But it is one enemy that you'll encounter several times throughout the game. You should make it that enemies have a chance to drop their weapons when defeated. I think that would lead to a lot of junk, to be honest. How about the name? Because I used to really love that about games, but then it's a lot of inventory management for nothing, in my opinion. I'd rather give you nice items that you find and don't have to worry about clutter. Cave Brute. Cave Brute's too generic. Or will there be a Cave Brute? It could be a Cave Brute. This is, like, when I designed this guy, I was thinking more of a not in the caves. So we could have a cave variant. Maybe he's got long shaggy hair. Tauros could be interesting. I play Terraria to see the inventory cluttering. So, Terraria, my favorite game. I love the game to death. That inventory system, man, that is something else. Like, you need an entire like a massive half the map just to store all your items. It's trouble. And it's one of the things I really want to avoid with this game. Is I want to cut down a lot of the inventory clutter. You should be able to have a mini version of him as a pet. Something someone suggested on one of my comments was a mini version of bosses as a pet. We could do that. I'm gonna make a note of that. But we talked about baby brutes earlier, so maybe we could have a baby brute as a pet. That would be cool. Some could barter if you wear a disguise. Now, that's not a bad idea, because that is something I do want to do. Because I do want to have different races in the game. So, like, if we go... If I go up to here and pull up my characters, you can see I've got these little snail people. I'm wanting to have... Like, in the cave system that I hinted at in the demo, I want you to encounter different races of people. So, like, these snail people could be a race that you encounter. You could barter with them. And one of the funny things we joked about on the Discord is, like, they hate magic and everything like that. So if you're a mage, then they maybe give you worse prices or something like that. So, and which is funny that they hate magic, because they live in the caves, and the cave is a very magical place. It's where sort of all that magic, like, it's a very high concentration of magic, and they sort of just despise it. So that was an interesting thing. But I think I'm going to end it for now. I haven't really made much progress in a bit. So appreciate y'all for coming by this stream. I'm going to animate this guy. I think we're going to do we made some progress. We did this guy right here. I'm going to do the slamming down thing later. if it's not too trouble, once I get all the other stuff in the demo, I want to add that as soon as possible. We also worked on the spirit here. So we got this swimming animation, which is broken there for some reason. We got that sort of swimming animation, which is going to be how he charges at you, and then he does that. I'm probably going to add some more smearing to that, just to sort of help speed that up a bit. Then we have the dropping animation that he goes. I might get rid of those hands. It kind of looks like a baby. We'll see. Maybe you could invite your friends and play together. That possibility, but I've never worked in multiplayer before. I don't want it to bog down development, but I would like to, yes, to do multiplayer, especially like the way that I'm thinking, because I'm wanting to do this as sort of like a slice of life meets RPG kind of game. So you can imagine like Animal Crossing with RPG elements. And I think Animal Crossing would be like, has a lot of potential for like playing with your friends and just chilling out and doing things in the world, that kind of thing. And so that's kind of what I want to achieve, and I think multiplayer would really help with that. So I've been having a character idea for a while, a necromancer who isn't creepy. That's what the necromancer is, not creepy. Guy right here. Yeah, he's not creepy. That's a necromancer. He is a necromancer. And I hear that all the time, how he's not creepy. So I'm going to call it for now. Y'all take it easy. Appreciate y'all stopping by. There.